is a mix of cultures. Toronto is a unique city because of the variety of music styles you can experience in bars and clubs, and it seems like Russian rock has arrived here to stay. Собаки Pavlova was the first band in Toronto to record music and to sing in Russian. They were the pioneers. It was a small tiny universe, but they got this music out of the box. From small stages of Artful Dodger and Holy Joe's, they jumped up to a brighter environment and fuller sound of Reverb and Lee's Palace. They also gave the roots for two bands, Samsarics and Half Past Four. But actually the history of Russian rock in Toronto got started even earlier.
Я стою на холодных ступенях, лимузин очень важный дядя держит меня. На прицелях не вижу я, и меня видят. Глупо врут, что меня не обидят. Через дружелюбные маски парнишек берут доллары из коробки штанишек.
I believe in 1991, me and 4 other guys, Dmitry Lesov and Tsoi and Stas, we organized the first band, which was called Unhappy Hands or something like that. So that was the first project ever. That was in Toronto. And there was another guy whose name is Mike, older guy, who just had kind of an apartment studio where he fanatically recorded Russian music of his own. And we got together, we recorded a tape, and that's how it started, basically. And when it went on and off, we were playing all the time, we were always jamming, but not in an organized way in any way, just chaotically.
А вроде бы не про. Чего приходят ко мне милые, серьезные друзья и пристально проверенно глядят тебе в глаза.
That's where a lot of parties took place, and that's where a lot of birthdays, New Year, and all kinds of celebrations went wrong, or right, depending on the situation. And a lot of all kinds of paranoid ideas were born. A lot of them died. So it's like there's a lot of energy here, I believe, because so many people passed through or sat around this apartment, and many of my friends also lived here with me. We came up with that idea that one day, as an ideal, it would be nice to have a huge festival of Russian rock music that was written abroad. And we also felt that art was a very important thing for the show, that it would always be nice to have some artwork on the walls of the place where we played of the club. And we tried to do that as much as possible. Almost every show had some artwork, and I think it worked great together with music. So that was like the vision behind those evenings. We wanted to create an atmosphere where people could really relax and just kind of chill out and listen to good music, look at art, and I guess satisfy very nostalgia for Russian culture, because that's what it's all about. You know, people just kind of were to experience a piece of Russia, so to say, once again, and we were just trying to provide that experience for them. We picked that place up for its kind of arty look and very relaxed atmosphere, and that was a great show. We had some theatrical performance that I wrote with the text for it. It was a funny story about a very cynical psychiatrist who is basically sucking money out of his patients by doing all kinds of weird things. And we performed that. I performed a doctor, I played a doctor, and Tsoi was my female patient, and Lenin was my neurotic revolutionary patient. That went really well, people liked that, there was a lot of laughter. So when I thought of Russian festivals, I basically just wanted to organize a big and ultimate hangout, where people could do that for a long time and just listen to a lot of Russian music and just hang out with each other and have a good time. So that was the idea behind that. I personally, what I got out of it was the excitement of being inside of it all and just hanging out with all the people that came to the show. I would say money is the main problem. Get me some money, I'll do it again. Thank you.
Good friends, and we know each other very well, and most of the shows we play together. And another band right now, Kub Zavod, another Russian band that joined us, and there is 3 bands now in this Russian rock club or whatever it is. And we got together here, we got to know each other and played on and off for about 8 years, jammed together.
So basically we're just like one big community, and we're exchanging players sometimes.
We support gigs from gigs, you know, we pay for gigs from previous gigs, and we practice the way we can, you know.
The color of green is my favorite, and there's always enough to make me break into hysterical laugh, to take me out of my skin. Something nearby, I can feel it, but I can't identify. Is it breathing? Is it gonna strike it by? Move a little bit aside.
It's kind of pointless to talk about competition between Russian bands, because how are we going to judge this? We're not selling any records. Our attendance is always, you know, we're always performing together. So even if there was competition, there's no way to judge a winner. So no, we don't compete. We help each other.
There is no money.
There's only fun.
Yeah, so that's about it.
We didn't play any gigs outside Toronto just yet because we're afraid that we won't find much of Russian audience. And although we would like to think that Canadians like us,
I believe Russian rock is a pretty good description of the music, of the type of music, but not also the music, but the attitude of the musicians and the attitude of the people that are playing the music. But not only that, also the people that listen to the music. I mean, there's a sort of family feeling to people who come to see the shows, and I think it's a very different realism than anything else that I've experienced in other types of music. There's a distinct unity to that type of music, to Russian rock. Rhythms, the harmonies, and the guitar work are all very different from North American culture. I think that music really is, it crosses a lot of boundaries. It crosses a lot of cultural taboos.
There is a huge difference between Russian rock and Western rock, I personally feel. And I think it's mostly because, as I was saying before, it's because Russian rock was oriented towards poetry mostly at the beginning, and Western rock, even though it had some great poetry in it, but great musicians could kind of pull it through without, you know, saying much or writing like really interesting, profound poetry. but in Russia it was kind of backwards.
You say this on the subject of Russian rock versus North American rock. Now, John Lennon said that rock is just electric folklore. Now, obviously, Russian folklore is very much different from North American. And what you basically get is different kind of music.
А у окна стоял мой чемоданчик, а у окна стоял мой чемоданчик, а у окна стоял, а у окна стоял, а у окна стоял мой чемоданчик, а у окна стоял, а у окна стоял, а у окна.
After the World War II, people went home with different captured materials, and among them were some LPs with American and German jazz. All of non-Russian products were not welcomed by communism regime and were confiscated, although people managed to keep some illegally and got excited about some strange music from abroad. In late 60s, the influence of Western rock spread out illegally through homemade transistor radios and rich people who had access of traveling through Iron Curtain. First underground rock bands were lately formed in Russia. Musicians started thinking about lyrics on their own language and stuck to a problem of putting together Western rock drive with Russian versification. By this lucky coincidence, they were forced to change the music drive to fit Russian poetry, and with its combination created a new style of Russian rock with its own melodic motives. The years from 1985 to 1989, the crash of Iron Curtain, were considered to be the golden age of Russian rock, when fixed Russian bands started touring all over the world, getting famous in France, Great Britain and USA.
It's strange, can I feel like I'm a stranger? I feel like I belong here. Feel like I've been waiting for a long time now. I can tell you some stories.
There is no definite style, I'd say. Is there?
I think we played the best hits of the last millennium.
We don't follow a particular style. I can't say that we are. We play anything from blues to folk to jazz to Latin beats and bossa nova somewhere, anything like that, even some flamenco.
Julia, Magnolia, Magnolia, Magnolia.
one person called us Russian psychedelic boogie. We kind of liked it, and so we're just sticking on with it.
Whatever's underground in Russia, and we're underground here, so it's total parity. Kubzavod in Russian means cube factory.
4:30 is when the sun is not rising yet, but it's just about to get out and look at the world with a fresh new kind of feeling.
Samsarics is a derivative of Buddhist term samsara. It's the idea of matrix. Well, we live in samsara. Everything we experience is samsara. Everything we want, we need, is samsara. So the samsaric is the combination of two words, samsara and matrix, samsarics.
We still see the English speakers in the audience, which makes us quite happy, and that means that it's not a closed circle music.
Torontonians especially, I think, gave a different response than the other people that were at the bar in the nights that I've seen them, in the sense that the Torontonians, they really felt that they've seen everything kind of thing, and it's a very sort of laid back, I'm just going to sit here and watch the band and clap if I think it's necessary. Whereas the people that were there that were friends of theirs were very supportive of them. They danced, they screamed between songs, there was lots of clapping and hooting. I think there was a distinct difference between the two crowds. But by the end of the night, the people who were from Toronto really came around to the music and started really getting behind them as well. I think it was, by the end of the night, the support was there. And I think that was the major difference. Everybody liked the music, but the Torontonians had a little trouble warming up to it because it wasn't something that they were used to. But they did appreciate the differences and the amount of expertise that was involved in creating that type of sound.
We don't play just for Russians or just for Canadians. We play for both Canadians and Russian. We have lots of songs in Russian and lots of songs in English. We can play a Russian show, a Canadian show, or a mixed show, English and Russian together. Everyone's welcome. Everybody's welcome. A lot of fun. Everybody likes it. Canadian. He likes it. Shipa likes it.
Toronto became a center for Russian-Canadian rock. For now, it is a hobby for those musicians. Most of them work. They're dentists, video editors, web developers, teachers, computer and audio technicians. But who knows what happens in the future? We wish them all luck. And for you, we'll recommend buying a ticket to Moscow or St. Petersburg and exploring an amazingly rich and diverse culture.
oh,